Hey all, thanks for being here with me. If you took a look at my short this week on the card I pulled, it was about family and about community for this week. Here we are at the end of 2024. And this week, the card I pulled is asking us to connect, make connections. Family is who we make it, right? I consider friends my family at this point, along with my bloodline of relatives. But it is about building our connections. That's what that card was about. And I decided to talk to you today because I got a message from guidance from the universe about where we need to focus our attention for 2025. I woke up last week with a message from them that I needed to take a look at what a circle, am I making a circle? What the symbol of circle meant. And they weren't going to tell me what the circle means, what that symbol is about. They directed that I head to a book that I love by Angela's Arian, and I'll stick her book in the comment section so you can see it for yourself, perhaps get it for yourself. She's long passed, but she was an anthropologist, a feminist, a trailblazer in terms of understanding how we connect to tarot, the esoteric arts. And this was, in the 70s and the 80s when tarot and this whole metaphysical realm wasn't very popular. So she was quite a trailblazer, and I absolutely adored her and followed her. I didn't know her personally, but I followed her work. And this book on symbols is so great, and she discusses how in all of her cross-cultural research, as I stated, she was a scholar and anthropologist by trade. She had her PhD. She looked at 1,200 symbols. And what she noticed was that 5 of them cross cultures in terms of art. It's the circle, the triangle, let's see if I remember them all, the equidistant cross, the spiral, and the square. I did it. Interestingly enough, when I went to her book to look up circle, to understand what that symbolism meant for 2025, why guidance had directed me to focus on the circle, to let you know, and those who are on my email list as well, and for anybody actually who's curious about where the energy is for 2025. What I discovered was that the circle is about unity. It's about wholeness, right? And according to Angela's book, Ms. Arian's book, being a whole person means that we take responsibility for ourselves. Being a whole person means that we figure out what we need to do for ourselves so that we can feel more whole, so we can be united within ourselves. So the struggling that happens in our lives that we are part of in terms of our suffering can be released through our own awareness and our consciousness so that we're not struggling within ourselves so much, so that we can feel whole. And this, according to her, and also, of course, according to what I know and what you probably all know from doing internal work, is that this does free us. When we feel whole, when we're united with ourselves, we feel better. And she mentions, as something that I have mentioned, something that guidance has taught me, she also mentions in her book that this unity of self is how we create unity in the world. And so I was really prompted to talk to you about that today, because here I pulled that card of family and community for the week. But perhaps this year, more than any other year, Let 2025 be about unification, about unifying with ourselves, about bridging whatever conflict we carry internally so that we can feel more united with ourselves, more in line with who we are, so we're not suffering as much through our thoughts and our actions, but that we can feel better, more unified within self. So perhaps then that unity that we need in community, that building of community, that connection to love and that connection to each other can grow as well. Remember, it has always been my belief system that if I feel better, I can do better for the world. And if the energy I'm feeling inside of me is one of love and peace, then perhaps that energy can also translate into the larger world. I'm wishing all of you the best of 2025. I love you all. I thank you so much for hanging in there with me and being here on this channel. If you are somebody who is on social media elsewhere, please remember to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And also, I am doing lots of writing now on Substack. Once a week, I'm posting my musings there as well. Thanks again for being here today. We have a lot to contemplate for this year, but let the circle be our guide. Let it inspire us to find unity within ourselves and within the greater world. All right, here's to 2025. Here's to you.